found my grandmother's missing wedding ring in a vintage shop 300 miles from home with her initials still engraved inside. The shop owner's explanation left me in tears. My grandmother's wedding ring disappeared when she moved into assisted living 3 years ago. Staff searched everywhere, but we eventually accepted it was gone forever, likely stolen during the move. She'd worn it for 62 years since my grandfather placed it on her finger last month. I was on a business trip to Chicago, a city I rarely visit and 3 states away from my hometown. With 2 hours to kill before my flight, I wandered into a tiny vintage jewelry shop tucked between 3 restaurants. I wasn't looking for anything specific, just browsing to pass time. The store had hundreds of rings in glass cases, but somehow my eyes landed on a small gold band with a distinctive pattern of 3 tiny diamonds. It looked exactly like my grandmother's lost ring. Could I see that one? My hands were actually shaking when the shopkeeper handed it to me. I turned it over and checked inside the band. There they were, the initials and this plus JDL, and the date 6/14-58, my grandparents' initials and wedding date. How did you get this? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. The shopkeeper explained that most of her vintage pieces came from estate sales or jewelry buyers who purchased from families clearing homes. This particular ring had been bought 6 months earlier from a bulk jewelry purchase. I pulled out my phone and showed her a photo of my grandmother wearing the ring at her 80th birthday. This is her ring. It disappeared 3 years ago. The shop owner didn't even hesitate. She closed my fingers around the ring and said, then it's found its way home. She refused payment, saying some things are meant to happen, and this was one of them. When I placed the ring back on my grandmother's finger, her hands trembled just like mine had in the shop. I thought I'd never see it again, she whispered. The odds of finding it were astronomical. Different states, random timing, thousands of vintage pieces, yet somehow that ring found its way back to us.